and welcome to Find It. We are here on Wednesday night, or are we? Actually, this is pre-recorded with Kellen Ann because she just got home from London and I'm going to be in Dallas. So you are watching a recorded version, but it's live to you. So let's have fun and make sure you ask tons of questions, make comments. We will be watching so we can see and answer your stuff. So with no further ado, let's get into who Kellen Ann is. What's her last name? Does she have one? Is it Oprah times 2? We're going to find out. She's got the wow factor. Hang tight. We're going to show her intro and she will be right back with us. Kellen Ann, welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm so glad I could find it.
Oh, it's good. That's my corny style. I'm loving it. I feel like, and we just talked about this in the back room, I feel like I know you, but when I really think about it, I don't really know you. I just know of you, and I've watched you on other podcasts, and you've been in groups that I've been in, and I know Steve Rizzo thinks the absolute world of you. So I guess, So I guess I'm like, oh my gosh, I really don't know that much about her. So I can't wait to get to know you organically through this podcast with everyone else who's watching us. So let's start with, okay, Kellen Ann, where did you just get home from? Like last night?
Well, I had a speaking engagement with Michael Heppel. I got back from London.
I love that hat. I am obsessed with hats.
I found this hat the very last day because it's so hard to find souvenirs that weren't like cheesy. And when I saw this, I'm like, oh, I can wear it at my pool and it's fashionable.
It so is. I would wear that. I would totally wear that. Is it reversible?
It says it's reversible, but it's got, the tag comes out. Oh yeah, it is.
It looked like it was.
It had this tag in it and I thought, well, it can't be reversible. It has a tag, but it came right out.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So you had tell us again, you were in London and you had a speaking engagement. What were you doing?
So Michael Heppel is a group that I belong to. It's called Team 17, and he had 17 speakers on June 17th in London. He did it live. We've had all our meetings up until like maybe 3 of them. They've all been Zoom meetings, and so now that the world has opened up, he's decided to do some live ones. And then when he said there was a speaking opportunity, I kind of I'd like to do it. Just like, he's not going to ask me to do it because what do I have to say that anybody want to listen to? And he said, yes. I thought, oh boy, I got to write something. I got to talk about something now. So
I know, but see, you know what that just made me think of? If you don't ask, you're never going to get the opportunities. And you put yourself out there and you asked, and it ended up becoming a speaking engagement. So that's awesome.
Does that make me an international speaker now?
It does. It does. So what were you up there and what did you talk to the crowd about?
Well, it's like I originally started out, it was creating a life by design, because before COVID, I had a horrible job. I hated my job, horrible relationship, no spirituality, physical health was a mess. I was just a hot mess, had no balance. And so I used COVID, and that's what I talked about, how I used COVID to create a life by design. And I quit my job. I started a business. I wrote a book. I moved 2,000 miles across the country and just completely changed the trajectory of my life.
Okay, wait a minute, because I have chills all over my body. That's a lot. And during COVID too, like, while some people were just drinking more alcohol, I
did that too. Don't get me wrong. I did that too.
You were building a whole new life with coffee. So you lived where and moved where?
So I lived just outside of San Francisco in a tiny town called Moraga, where I lived for my daughter's high school years. We lived in the foothills, and the school that she was going to, she wasn't learning to read. She had a disability. Nobody was diagnosing it. I was arguing with the counselors. I said, there's something wrong. She's in 6th grade. She has a 3rd grade reading level. And then this is funny, not funny, but the counselor actually told me, she was, Mrs. Fisher, sometimes students are just C students. And with that comment, I was done. I
You left
researched
the
this.
foothills.
I left the foothills. I sold my ranch. It was well. I found that it was a top 25 school in California, and he just happened to be the best basketball coach in California because my daughter is 6 feet tall,
Oh, wow.
and it was apparent to me that she wasn't going to be a gymnast or a ballerina. So, I packed up everything. We moved to Moraga, and which is about 10 minutes from San Francisco. It was crazy expensive, but my daughter's education was worth it. The beauty is every year I got to send that counselor. I'd email her a picture of Emily's certificate of achievement, which was noting her as a scholar athlete.
Oh, that's incredible. And that just is another testament to taking steps of action and being an advocate for your daughter's education.
Exactly.
And you did that, and you didn't stand still and accept that she was just going to be a C student.
I just couldn't understand that. I'm like, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. And we did tests, and she had a visual processing disorder. And once she got that diagnosed, and I'm going to tell you, she was a trooper. The summer between 8th grade, because she almost flunked 8th grade. And the summer between 8th and freshman year, she gave up her summer. We had 6 hours of tutoring every day in math, English, essay writing, and I forget what the fourth, but she had 4 tutors, and 6 hours a day she studied and then played basketball for 2 hours.
Wow, that's incredible devotion, dedication. So, and yeah, like you said, it wasn't cheap, but it's the sacrifice you made for her and she made in herself, because you can't make people study.
No. So by the end of her freshman year, she went from I think it was a 4th grade reading level to an 8th grade reading level.
Wow.
Just with little accommodations. I mean, it wasn't a huge thing that had to be done for us, which I was like so mad. I'm like, you guys could have done this.
Oh, exactly. So in 2020, how old was she? Still in high school then?
Yes.
Okay, so then you made the transition for yourself. So during this time that you were in self-discovery and you felt like you were a hot mess express, as you stated, that was during 2020. And also you were in a job that you didn't love. And was your daughter a senior then?
So she graduated 2 years ago.
Okay, so she was a junior.
A junior. And then, her senior year, they were barely they let the kids come to school her senior year. She got 2 days of school, 2 days of, and then 3 days of like online school.
So. Okay, so I want to ask about you personally. So all of a sudden in 2020, when the world shut down, that wasn't the first you recognized that you were unhappy, is it?
Oh, no. My marriage, I was miserable after 5 years. Careers, I was never happy, like passionate. Okay. I mean, I was crazy successful, but not happy.
Oh, wow. So then when 2020 hit and you had time to be in silence more, it's when you thought about help yourself out of the place you were in. So then how did you start?
It was with Jeffrey Gitomer. And that was my whole speech on Saturday. It was about I called it the ding that started it all. He went live at 9:59, March 16th, 2019. And he did it, I almost for 2 years. And I talked about how that ding impacted every part of my life. It helped me meet 24 like-minded sales individuals, and we all became friends, and we mastered video and live streaming, and so we could change the way we sell, so we could continue to make our livings during COVID. I mean, most of us were 30% over our goals during COVID. Wow. And other people were complaining about, they can't do anything. We're like, no, you're with the wrong people. And then COVID taught me how to live stream, which is how I met Lynn and how I met Michael. That's how I met Michael Heppel in the first place. He came on my show called Coffee Talk with Kellen. And then that got me into Team 17. And then that got me into his Write That Book Masterclass, where I wrote my book. And then that got me basically to that stage in London on Saturday. Speaking with friends on the stage and speaking to friends who were in the audience and on the live stream watching.
Wow. I just think this is a beautiful way to think about when times get really tough. It was scary in 2020.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah.
We didn't
I mean,
know
there were
what to
terrible
expect.
things that happened. People died, and it was terrible. But I mean, but it was
It
a
was
good.
also a time of discovery and learning how to shift and do
Mhm.
things a new way, and you did
Yes.
that. So along the way, what have you learned about yourself? Okay, I'm asking some of the questions that I had to ask myself. For
Okay.
me, so do you just have one daughter?
Yes.
Okay. So for me, I was in a place where my life was changing because my kids were getting older and getting ready to go off to school. And that's when I had a lot of self discovery
Right.
myself. And there were things I learned about myself, some that I didn't like that much, but I decided to put one foot in front of the other and take action to change.
Mhm.
During this time for you, okay, I guess this is kind of personal, so tell me what all you want. What did you find out about yourself and personal discovery and self-discovery that you wanted to shift out of and get better?
Well, I found that I let other people tell me what I could achieve and what I couldn't achieve. I believed in my mind. And I've said this probably on every podcast that I've spoken on, is that I've learned to trust my intuition,
Mm,
that 9 times out of 10, your gut is right and you need to listen to it. It's a higher being of yourself and your mind. And as soon as I started listening to my intuition, and it was telling me that you're not balanced, Cal. You're great at sales, but what you're selling is not in the there's my finger there. It's not in alignment. And you need to get your values and your career in alignment. And with that, you will have passion and you'll have success.
mm, that's amazing. And so you also said that your health wasn't like your health. Do you mean physical health, mental
Yeah.
health wasn't the
I was
greatest?
I was 57 pounds heavier.
Wow.
And my house that I got in Georgia had a pool, and I thought I'm going to start swimming. So I swam every day, and
So
I
how did
started I started this March when it was 60 degrees in the water. So I swam with a wetsuit, but it's kind of like a cold plunge, right?
Yeah, and you know who loves cold plunges? You were talking about, Jeffrey Gitomer,
Uh-huh.
his wife, Jennifer.
Oh yeah, she's the one that
She
introduced me to it.
Yeah, the cold plunging. I
Yeah.
really like her. I've never met her in person, but we've
Oh,
spoken on the phone and
I can't
we've
do that.
Zoomed. We've been on podcasts together and she's incredible. So,
She's amazing.
the Gittimer family clearly leaves an impact in a good way wherever they go
Oh, they
because
do.
that's
Yeah.
what changed your life.
Hmm.
But okay, so now I gotta know this. So you're in California, and then during the time you're shifting out of everything and you're like, no, I'm taking action. I need to lose weight. I'm changing careers. I'm going. So your daughter graduated, then you moved clear across country. What sparked that? Why did you decide to leave California?
It was so expensive. I
Okay.
mean, I was spending like 3,000 a month on a 700 square foot dump.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I had a condo in San Diego, which I was using to
Yeah.
help pay for the rent and
You had
everything.
two places.
No, no, I sold my ranch and then I
Oh, that's
rented.
right. Okay.
I rented in, I couldn't afford to buy in Moraga. It's very affluent, very, there's no way I could have.
Gotcha.
But I had to find a place that was in the school district or Emily couldn't go there.
Wow.
So I'm in my little, and I think Lynn will remember this. My office used to be inside my closet, where I did my live streams, where I did my work. Do you remember?
I know. I actually watched some of that podcast and you said, when I moved, I got to come out of the closet. I have a bigger space now. Take that however you want, people.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah, so
But literally,
now
I had one of those AnyView screens behind me, and it was so small that, like, I think the first or second live stream I did, I literally fell backwards in my chair, and you could see my feet up in the air. I knocked over the screen, but I'm like, that's when people thought, okay, then now you know the real Kellen.
yeah, I love it.
So once my daughter graduated, I'm like, oh wait, I don't have to live here anymore. And at the time, my mom, she had a 5-way bypass. She was very, she was recovering, and basically for 3 years I was taking care of her and doing my business at night. So I'd help her all day long, and then when she'd go to sleep, I'd go to my closet and to get all my work done and get samples ready to send out. And like I was working till like 2 a.m. just about every day. Well, anyway, my mom's sitting in the living room watching her TV, and I'm in the office, my closet, going, I don't think I need to live here anymore. And I had this big map. So I put it above my headboard because that was like the farthest I could get away. And I just flung a dart at it.
No,
And
you
it
didn't.
landed in
No,
Georgia.
you did not. No, you did not. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I saw where this was going, and I thought, no, she didn't.
No, ask Lynn, she knows. So I yell, I go, Mom, how about Georgia? And I hear from the living room, sounds good. So we had to wait 6 weeks for her recovery. She got her okay from her doctor. I sent her back to Grass Valley so she could say goodbye to her friends, my uncle, and she stayed there for a weekend. I packed up the house. The moving truck came. I packed up the car with the pugs, picked her up in Grass Valley, and headed to Georgia.
Oh my gosh. Is your mother still with you today?
No, she passed away in October.
I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss.
No, it was weird though, because because I just thought I have this crazy schedule. And that was another learning part for me. When she was gone, I worked during the day and I was done. Sometimes I'd be done at 6 or 7 and I'd be like, now what do I do? Because I'm used to working until 2 a.m. I thought I was just eclectic and artful and artsy. And, everybody that's that way works till 2 a.m. But no, they don't.
Turns out people actually work during the day and sleep at night.
Exactly.
Who knew? Yeah.
So, and while I was taking care of her, I never slept. It was like having a toddler. You know how when they're toddlers and you're always listening on the monitor, and once you're a mom, you never sleep. Yes. I mean, never. And it was the same thing. I was always listening. I was worried about she's going to fall or she's going to call me. And like last November was the first month of sleep I'd gotten probably in 3 years.
Wow, Kellen Ann, you have definitely had your hands full, but you've made the best of life, and no one has a smile like you and a laugh. It's infectious. I think that's part of the thing, part of the thing that has drawn me to you is I would have never known you've gone through all of that, because you have a very beautiful disposition, laugh, smile, and all of that. But I just keep thinking about all the changes that you made during a time where a lot of people just couldn't get out of their own way. And right. So you got to give yourself credit for that. And
I'm proud. I am.
No, I am so proud of you too. And where is your daughter right now? Is she in Georgia or?
She's visiting her dad in California right now.
Okay.
And then she's going to Ohio State.
Go Bucks. Well then, yeah. Kellen Ann, you're
going to see me a lot.
Well, you have got, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I will meet you in Columbus and we'll have lunch and do whatever.
Because I drive up twice a month.
Okay, well, I'm into that. I love that. Both of my kids live in Columbus, so I'm there a lot. Nice. Yeah. So I mentioned in the intro that you're just Kellen Ann. You don't need a last name. Yeah. But we did hear you say it used to be Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
And your maiden name was
Hardy.
Hardy. Okay. A hearty laugh. Hardy
personality. I heard all your high school. Hardy har har.
Oh, Hardy. That's cute. Hardy har har. So you do have a last name. We just don't need to use it. So it's Kellen Ann.
I like Kellen Ann.
I do too. It has a nice little, it rolls off the tongue nicely. I like it. And so, but you also have a wow factor I mentioned. I want you to explain where wow came from and how you're using it.
It started with my cards that wow. Another portion of my talk at the event was how I tried to find the common denominator of all the things the one thing that I did in every profession that I felt contributed to my success. And it was that I wrote handwritten notes. And I didn't just buy notes. I made notes. I made really beautiful, sparkly, 3-dimensional note cards where I hand wrote notes to all my clients, my prospects. I mean, I even wrote a note to the van driver at the Marriott in Atlanta like 10, 15 years ago when I was here, just because he was so kind. And then that started my Gratitude Monday, which yesterday was my 20th year anniversary of writing thank you notes on Mondays.
Aww.
So every Monday I sit down and I write a thank you note to a gratitude note, actually.
Well, happy anniversary.
I know. So on stage in Saturday, I wrote my Gratitude Monday note early and I gave it to Michael. So he was my 1040th Gratitude Monday note card.
Wow, that's incredible. That's really cool. So obviously you start your day, and also Mondays you write down, but you probably, or do you? What do you do when you first wake up? Is it all about gratitude each day?
No, it's about pugs.
Oh, that's right.
First thing is about pugs. They're like all over me and I got to do the whole pug routine. But yeah, I do actually. And I'm not plugging my planner, but I literally have a planner that the very first thing every day, it says, what am I grateful for today? So
Okay, so we're not going to plug it. We're going to pug it. We're going to pug it. Okay, so you have a lot going on. Okay, so you started when you made the shift and you did all these other things. You're very creative. You're very artsy. I love people like that. The mind probably is like constantly going and you think of really cool things. Yeah, all the time, right?
Constantly.
So with that and knowing that, I am interested before we get into what your products are, what you sell, what you do for others. What is it about doing for others and making other people feel good? What I think that's typically human beings are made to get joy from that, but not everybody makes that their profession. What does giving and helping other people do for you?
I just remember that when I wrote, I received the note that started everything was when my father-in-law passed away. I received this note, which I carry in my backpack. I've had it in my backpack for 20 years. And it was a note from a friend who said, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but Tom trusted you. You're an amazing person. You are stronger than you believe. That one sentence on the end. And that's what started the whole Gratitude Monday thing. And the way I felt when I opened, like I described, there was a pile of mail on my desk. I took over my father-in-law's real estate business. There was a pile of mail on my desk that thick. And because I hated mail because it was just bills and contracts.
Me too.
So it was a real estate business. So there was one little envelope sticking out in the corner, and I picked it up and I looked at it and I'm like, this is not a bill because it's only this big and it's handwritten and it's a pretty yellow envelope. I'm going to open this one. And I opened up and it was that letter. And I remember how, first of all, the whole experience of getting the envelope with the handwriting on the front and it not being a normal size envelope and opening it up and seeing this beautiful glittery, flowery postcard. And then this handwritten note, you are stronger than you believe. It's like the way that made me feel. And I thought, I want to know how that feels to send something like that. So that's when I started writing my notes to people. Like I've written my high school trigonometry teacher. I've hit clients, I've written notes to anyone I could think of that it impacted me in a positive way. Or if I felt somebody needed some uplifting, I would write that note. And my heart felt so full when I was doing that. And then I thought, that's how I'm going to create my business. And I'm going to change the world one handwritten note at a time.
Wow. That is, I want to do that. We all can tell people thank you. Like you've made an impact. Sometimes we go our whole lives and we think about it and we think about those people and what an impact they made, but we don't always tell them, do we?
Right. So I said, I've been in business for 2 years and I don't have any clients. And people are just kind of like, I go, no, I have 1,000 relationships. And if I can make 1,000 relationships, help each of them make 1,000 relationships, we've created 1,000,000 relationships.
Oh, that's so
one little thing.
That is so cool. Okay, so now with that, let's start talking about this. First of all, because you mentioned real estate, I want you to pull up what you showed me before the show to show everyone else what you're doing for real estate agents.
So I don't have a sample. I don't have a sample of it. It's coming.
But so you have
we have to pretend. We have to pretend that this is a folder that's actually this big, okay? Like a piece of like a folder. And it opens up and it has a video message.
Old way. Postcards that are camouflaged by the rest of the junk.
And then the other side has a pocket where they're putting CMA reports in to their potential listing clients.
So, but can you make that video of the current house you're showing, or is it more?
They're all personal. No, you can personalize them, just like the one I sent to you.
Oh my gosh! What?
Hey Debbie, Kellen Ann here. So I'm sending you this box so you can see how I help authors promote their books to radio stations, television stations, whoever they're trying to get in contact with. So you're obviously you received this box, and you're seeing me in this little spot right here. And this has been a crazy. I've been crazy successful using this, and I also can create experiences for authors. So
Okay, so here's I was outside. I had my phone beside of me. And I was like, when I opened the box, I was like, I knew you were sending me your book. And I just thought I was going to get it in a bag or, whatever.
The white bubble mailer.
There was yeah, exactly. And it was.
Everybody sends them.
And it had really cute, like, the crinkle paper tissue. And then I was like, oh, well, what's going on here? And then I just took it and I opened it. And when I did, and you popped on, like as soon as I did.
Kellen Ann here. So I'm sending you this box so you can see how I help.
And the book is inside of it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And even my daughter, who is not impressed by anything. I mean, you know what I'm saying? She is such a diva. And she was like, she saw this laying on the table and I didn't even, and she goes, what's this? And I'm like, open it. And she went, and she was like this. And I was like, there we have it. That's why she's the wow. She's got the wow. This is incredible. So you're using these for authors to promote their books.
And publishers. I've been introduced to some publishers that are going to be helping their authors promote their books.
Got you. And so there's a million uses you could do for a box like that.
Oh yeah, no, this is just an author use. You can use them for, I always tell my clients, don't send holiday gifts, don't send Christmas gifts. I create a whole strategy for each business. And after talking to you, determine how often and when you should send things. Cause that was another important thing with gratitude. The message isn't the most important thing. It's the timing of it, the delivery of it. I mean, you have to have a strategy when you're doing this so that you are authentic. Otherwise it just looks like, oh, I have to write this thank you card, when you want them to think, oh, I got to write this thank you, or they were excited to write this card for me. It wasn't a chore. So I help you create the strategy so that it is genuine and authentic and not forced and just thank you. You get sometimes you get that card that just is like, 5 whole seconds. Thank you.
Yeah, you can tell the difference. And also I just feel like the older I get, the more I've been in a place where if I'm not feeling it yet, to write my feelings on a card, it doesn't I don't want it to be like, okay, check mark that off, send it.
Right. Exactly.
You want to be able to take a moment to really vibe what you're feeling and then write it. I think someone would rather have a thank you card much later than one that they feel isn't.
That's what I'm talking about. Timing. I'm talking about timing. And then, some people make the mistake of, I have a small gifting service where, they hire me, they've met with the client. They tell me, this is what we talked about at lunch. I want to see if I can find something like a little gift token for them. And, some make the mistake like, oh, I screwed up, I want to send them a gift. Like, no. Never send a gift when you screw up. I will consult you what to do when you screw up. And it's definitely not sending a gift.
Wow. You know what? So I got to say, the fact that you do so many things, like you're the one-stop shop for anybody who wants to deliver, in business or not, the best gift and most thoughtful, genuine gift to a client or a loved one.
And it's not just the gift, though. Don't get me wrong.
That's right.
I'm creating experiences because people will remember you and an experience long, long after a note card or a candle. Just examples. Yeah. Like I help you create an experience with that person so that it is long lasting. And then you have a relationship.
I love that. That is so meaningful. It's not just a gift. It's an experience.
Yes.
Yeah, people remember memories that they had with people or more than, oh, who got me this? Right. This book, who got me this shirt? Who got me this book, whatever. So can you show me, I want to show everybody your business card too.
So like one of my cards that I've done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I got some of my clients not to do Christmas cards last year.
Okay.
And you can't do a Happy New Year card because then people think you don't have your shit together. Can I say that?
Oh, God. Yes. Yeah.
And they think that you forgot Christmas, so you send a Happy New Year's card. So I made these Groundhog's Day cards.
Oh, and you make that?
Yeah.
You make those.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is my favorite card of all the cards I've made.
So cute. That's so your personality.
And then you can print them. You can print them inside, and
nobody's expecting a happy Groundhog's Day.
And when they get it, they get phone calls. And then when they're talking to their clients, they're like in the background. They can see them in the background.
So you're a totally
TEDx speech And so I did a TEDx card for her.
Okay, sky's the limit for you. Your thought processes and your creativity is off the chart. So if someone wants to have the perfect experience to give someone, how do they contact you?
You can email me, Kellen at cardsthatwow.com.
Okay.
You can text me if you want.
Yeah. And so in your bio that's going to be released, I'll make sure I have all of that. So everyone watching.
People message me on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. Anyway, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And so, but probably like if we put your email address, they could say, I need you for this, this, and this, and then you can be at their service. So,
if anybody watching, if you email me your logo and your address, I'll send you a sample just so you can see it for yourself. That's my whole business model. That's how I've created all my business, is sending samples to people.
Wow, that's incredible. So, but do you have that little card? Because I thought that was really cute. Like if
the business card one?
Yeah, if you have a business card.
You meant my cards. This bad boy?
Yes. So it's
check this out. It's
a little concept of, so you could have your logo on the front of that, right?
So yeah, they're all custom. Every piece, every wall space area is custom designed.
And a video, whatever you want to say. But so this is my thing though. You being involved with the products that you sell is the icing on the top. Because I know a lot of times people will think, well, I can just do all this on my own, and they maybe can. But if you want an experience, really, I've found this and like with the business that I'm getting ready to launch, I want people to buy the experience, not just the clothes.
Exactly.
I want them to know that I'm here to help you. It's not just about the clothes that I'm going to be selling. Exactly. So I get it. And I want people to buy that experience from me and not just find what I'm selling and try to find it somewhere else.
And the thing is with these, I mean, they're not cheap. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And if you mess up your order, you've bought 30 of the wrong thing. I mean, I have fine-tuned this to, I know exactly the questions that I need to ask you. I know how to put the artwork together. I can help you with, and the most important is your message. You need to, like when I sent my videos to where I got all the radio station and television interviews for my book, I didn't say, hi, I'm Kellen Ann and this is my book. I said, hi, I'm Kellen Ann and I've been rescuing pugs for 11 years. And I'm using my book to help me generate, more interest and help in my mission.
Oh, that's incredible.
And then I talk about, by the way, check out my book. And then, I've gotten the people that, like, when I sent the box out, I originally sent it to the 4 people, the celebrities that endorsed my book, because I wanted to do something so different. And I was so thankful and grateful for all that they did for me. But I wanted it to be a showstopper because I am, Kellen that wows. So I couldn't just send it like those little bubble mailers.
No.
I went overboard. I mean, I created the whole experience. I mean, this is what I sent to my people that I think.
It has your book. It has your, I'm going to put this up here. It has your book. It has what all is this? A candle, a mug?
It's the planner and the book. And then I created a 3-dimensional custom card where I hand wrote a note message to that person. And then so I figured you'd read the book, you would write in the journal. And in order to write in the journal, you'd need a pen. And while you're writing in the journal, of course, you need to drink a cup of coffee, right?
Yes.
Then I made a little Wagmore coffee pod. And then my favorite part of the whole thing is I have this really amazing candle maker. And I figure while you're reading and writing in your journal, I like candles when I'm doing. So I made a Wagmore scent. And no, it's not wet dog.
I was going to say, please don't tell me it's wet dog.
No, like pugs, their tails look like cinnamon buns. So I made it cinnamon bun flavor with vanilla and a little bit of almond. And it's just so good.
That's so cool. I love lighting a candle for the ambiance. If there's something soothing about that, not just the beautiful scent, but also
they're really cool. And they've got these wood wicks.
That's so cool. Yeah, I like those.
So good.
That's so good. Now, can someone order this whole package with their own logo through you?
Oh yeah, like I'm working with one author who's doing a love series, and she didn't have the budget for the boxes. And I said, we could still create an experience for you. I said, give me a number. And I worked with my candle lady, and she created a Hawaiian scent. So you could read her books and smell Hawaii, a tropical. So you'd have that experience.
Smart. So smart. So there you go. You've got Kellen Ann, the wow girl, who can help you with all of that. I want to pop up a few little notes that we have found from people who have used you. Kellen Ann's experience box was a jaw-dropping, totally distinctive gift that I've told too many friends about to count. And when you add her video box to the mix, it shows that Kellen Ann is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to establishing the market mind share that leads to profitable market share. That was Scott McCain. He's an iconic expert, best-selling author, and Hall of Fame speaker. And then we have author, speaker, champion of crazy ideas, Kyle Scheel. Is that how you pronounce it?
You got to follow him. He's hilarious.
When I got Kellen's book promotion box in the mail, I was blown away. I kept pulling people in from the hallway to watch the video and see all the cool stuff she sent. I got a lot of promotional stuff sent to me, but this stood out. And then the last one I want to show is, hi, Kellen. I have to tell you, your packaging is the coolest marketing packet I have ever gotten. So well done. And that's Jen Jordan. She's a proud mom of Jacob, who has autism, and co-host of the Jeff and Jen morning show on Q102 Cincinnati, which I've listened to Q102 a lot when
I love her.
Yeah, when my son was at the University of Cincinnati and I spent a lot of time there, I would listen to Q102. So anyway, I am so proud of you, and I want to talk to you a little bit about more of personal inner things. And one question that I ask every guest that I have on the show is, in life, what have you found that you can share with us to inspire us to find it too?
I think I'm going to go different. Usually I'll say, trust your intuition, blah, blah, blah. But I think more importantly is embrace the art of gratitude. Because once you embrace that and you're sharing gratitude, and then when you receive it, it's just the most wonderful and amazing feeling. And sharing it feels way better than receiving it, in my opinion.
Aw, I love that. I also have another question.
Okay.
Could you tell us one thing that would really surprise people about you?
I had a tryout for the WNBA.
What? What?
I didn't go though.
Oh,
I went to Disneyland instead.
See, you guys, see this giggle? Is that the cutest? Oh, I love it. That's funny. Well, is your daughter playing basketball right now?
Yeah. Well, I think she is. She's kind of going back and forth. Yes, I'm going to play. No, I'm not going to play. I don't know what it is this week. I hope yes, because she's an amazing player. So
yeah. How tall are you?
Okay, that's funny because I thought I was 5'8", and when I went to the doctor 2 weeks ago, I go, "Will you measure me?" Because my other friends are like, they're 5'6", and they're like, "Kellen, you are not 5'8", because I'm 5'6".
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll do that with age too. We think we're
Oh,
something, but we're really less.
The hell out of me. And they're like, "You're not 5'8". I go, "Yes, I'm 5'8". That's
and my pumps.
Yeah, I don't even wear the pumps. I wear those pink Rothy's.
Yeah, I know. Do you have those handy? I want you to pull that up.
Oh yeah, I do.
I want to find these and sell them. Because guess what? Look at they're Rothy's, and they're helping the planet. They're made out of plastic bags.
Yes. They have a whole line there. I don't want to be a commercial for them, but they have men's shoes, and they have the point is my favorite.
Yeah, the pointy ones. They look a little more dramatic.
They have handbags.
They have handbags. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're saving the planet. One plant. We're saving the planet one foot at a time. All right. So one more question, because we have a little bit more time. I ask people sometimes how they handle change. Mm-hmm. How have you handled all the changes that you've had in the last couple of years?
Surprisingly well, because I'm not good with change at all. And there's a chapter in my book about the art of change, and how one of my best friends, Jim, and I went to Starbucks like for years and years. Every Friday we'd meet and have coffee, and we'd sit at the same spot. And then when they closed that Starbucks to open up a new location, I went in 20 minutes early, like looking for the table. Like, where's the table that we used to sit at? They'd gotten rid of all of it. They put whole new furniture in there. And I was in a frenzy. I'm calling him, we can't have coffee here because I don't know where to sit. He said, I'll be right there. I promise I'll help you. So that's how I used to be.
Yeah.
But during COVID, but you know what, if it's changed, like I said, if it's in alignment with everything, your goals, your passions, if everything's in alignment, change won't bother you.
That's great, because change is difficult for people. And I can't say that it's easy for me either, but that's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a person that really bucks change, maybe the change isn't in alignment with who you are and where you should be going. That's awesome. Well, is there anything else? I would love for you to just take the floor. If there's anything else you want to say to the audience, please do it now, because I want to make sure you get your message out, whatever that may be.
I don't even know where to start. Be grateful and show people and let them know. Again, trust your intuition, and when you're working with a client, don't just try to impress them, or wow them. Try to create an experience that will allow them to build a relationship with you. And then you'll have a lasting client forever. A relationship forever.
I believe that. Yeah, that's right. The terminology is important, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You'll have that relationship, not necessarily a client. I love your words of wisdom. I love your smile. And I love that you care enough about other people that you want them to have an amazing experience and create relationships that last a lifetime. So
just like ours is going to be, right?
It is. And we're going to, you guys, I'll send pictures out and post pictures, because I have a feeling you and I are going to be together very soon.
I hope so.
And realsies.
Like, I wanted to drive to Ohio for this.
Remember that? Right. You did say.
I'll drive.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do a follow-up, like a little pop-up show or something.
That'd be
together in real life. Okay, well, with that, I thank you all for tuning in tonight. And thank you, Kellen Ann, for sharing your beautiful smile and great spirit. And I will see you all again next Wednesday, same time, new guest. Have a great night, everybody. And don't forget, find it.
That floats around me.